Oh man.
Yep.
That's what you get. When you lie, baby. Bow, 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 bow. What's good, y'all? What's good?
What is happening?
We're live.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Oh, we are live. We are live.
We're live.
This is.
Oh Lord.
We either a few minutes late or an hour or so early. It all depends.
It all depends on how you look at it, right? Perception.
Either way,
just know the party started.
We out here.
Yeah, no, the party started an hour ago.
And that's why we are in the condition we're in now. That's why we pulled up to one way or another. That's
The bros are
in the building. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
What it do, baby?
Assuming
Assuming
we can still call you that.
That you identify as one or the other.
Yeah.
We don't want no trouble, I don't think.
This is the show where we get canceled.
This is probably the show we get canceled. This is probably
Barely
the show we
canceled.
get canceled. Because it's a wrap.
Oh,
We are doing this, no notes. No damn transitions. Y'all just gonna get straight up authentic. The bros. Up to it, down to it.
This is
what it is.
Chicanery at its finest.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This was the worst open ever.
Or the best.
Or the best.
Man.
Hey man, but y'all see what okay. Y'all see what this is?
It's a yak night.
It's a yak night.
It's a yak night.
Brother Kev, talk to us, man. What are we on tonight?
All right, so we've actually had a chance to try all three of the yaks, and we started with the Gélite, which is just a beautiful full-bodied cognac that's so smooth you can't even taste your sip go down. And then we went to the Claude after that, which is just a super smooth cognac. And mind you, all of these were under $40. So, I'm all about finding a good drink at a good value. And then last but not least, we have the ABK6 VSOP, and all of these are VSOPs. So the story goes, in order for them to be a VS, you got to age them for at least 2 years. In order for it to be a VSOP, you got to age it for 6. The ABK6, they actually age for 8. So, just beautiful notes of vanilla and fresh spices. And that was the one for us, which, it's been an award-winning one for about the last 3 years. So we got good yaks, go ahead and put something in your stock, give it a try. Tell us what you think about it.
Yeah, that's it. And with that said,
yeah,
y'all know what it is.
It's up to it.
Up to it.
You already know.
Do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's the
Oh,
one
that's
right
not
there.
fair.
That's the one right there.
Yes, sir.
That's not fair.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So smooth you can't taste that.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Right.
That's good.
So,
Oh man.
so what we on, Trey? What we on?
Hey, you want to kick them off with a quick introduction, though, for those that might be joining us for the first time?
Yes,
What you want to do?
We are totally out of wrack.
Is that right?
now.
I don't know.
Now go ahead. We'll start on this side real quick.
Oh man! All right. Well, what's going on, everybody? It's your man King Rich in the building. I listen. I just hope everybody is doing fine like wine. That's all I got for you.
What it do? It's your favorite blue-head college kid, Mr. Kamikaze himself, man. What's good with y'all? Hoping everybody's good. Thank y'all for tuning in. For anybody that's new, welcome. Join the party, man.
Hold on, wait. We got a whole real fucking introduction.
I know.
Now,
I gotta practice and shit. Oh my goodness. We got scripted promos.
I'm not charging y'all rent for being here. Welcome to welcome to Mikasa. It's your boy Movable Force. That's how you can find me on whatever social media you choose to follow. Chances are I won't be there though. I'm getting old for this. But glad to have y'all here. Like I said, make sure you get a good drink in your system and enjoy yourselves, because we're gonna have ourselves one hell of a time tonight. Okay?
and water is considered.
Water, yes, it is. It is. Hydrate, ladies and gentlemen.
Stay hydrated.
Drink water, mind your business.
That's it.
Stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. I am the great and terrible Trey. y'all know what time it is. We're going to talk about a lot of different stuff today. Right now, you see us kind of casting our eyes up because we're all watching the game. So y'all get to watch the game with us. That's actually part of what we're talking about today is the NBA. What are we, conference finals? We're in conference finals, right?
We're taking a look at the Eastern Conference Finals right now. We got about 2 minutes left in the first, and the game is tied at 15. Miami, started out really strong, but the last couple games, Boston's kind of been giving it to them. So it's, a best of 3 series at this point. Game 7 will be in Miami if it goes 7 games, but the feeling is if Boston can pull it out tonight, then it'll be over in 6. So we'll see what happens, but let's go Heat.
We called on 7, man. This is going to 7.
Yeah, I think we called Heat in 7.
Yeah, we had
the last time.
It's just, there've been some injuries. Tyler Hero is not playing tonight for groin injury, and players for both teams have been in and out. So it's definitely something different every night. But, we love good competition, so definitely want to see it go 7.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
Now, I also, with the the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah. So that one's looking like it's going to be a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah. Dallas
Warriors in 5.
Yeah, Dallas did their thing last night, but they headed back to the Bay. So,
hey man, I called it in 5, and that's
you did. You did.
Called it in 5. I still think it's going to go in 5, man. I still think so.
See what happens, man.
What's bad is Dallas actually wasn't playing bad. The Warriors are just that good.
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
The Warriors are just that good.
Now, what was that scuffle? I didn't get to look into it. It was I think Curry hit a 3 and no look or something.
Yeah, and
they walked away and kind of got into it a little bit.
Yeah, they weren't a fan of it, but it's kind of wild. Like, how do you get upset about that? But when Doncic made the 3-pointer at the end of the first quarter, he did Steph's shimmy. So, if you're going to mock him, you got to be able to take it, when they fire that thing back at you.
Yeah, man.
The disrespect.
It's real.
It's real.
So do you think, right, because obviously the Warriors are going to, I'd be super surprised if the Warriors didn't go on right to the finals.
Right.
Do you think it's going to be a sweep again with whoever finishes, whether it's Boston or Miami?
No. On this side of the teams that are left, you're looking at probably the 2 best defensive teams that are still in the playoffs in Miami and Boston. So I don't have it being a clean sweep, regardless of the team that comes out. But I do believe that no matter what happens, the Warriors will walk away with it all.
Think gentleman's sweep? Is it gentleman's sweep?
I would say 6 for whatever team they face. I would say 6.
Really?
The Jordan sweep.
Yeah. So it's like the offense versus the defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, Golden State's defense is a top 7 in the league for the regular season, top 5 for the playoffs. So they're not missing defense. It's just people fall in love with their offense for obvious reasons. It's a light skin party,
State Warriors.
I do weddings, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties. I'm here all week.
Speaking from the lightest person in the room. All right,
team dark skin in the building.
We overpowered.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we don't care if you had to turn on that bright ass light to see us.
So what if I still look like a character that ain't been unlocked yet? That's sexy in 2022.
This actually is the brightest you've been the whole damn time.
Right. They actually see what you look like.
That's why we had to put a light out for him. Congratulations, you've unlocked Q. Yes. See, we should have waited to break
It's a season achievement. Yeah. It's an Xbox Live achievement.
All right. So what's on the list, Big Trey?
So we got a few things on today. And a few things happened as well. So let's go back to what we talked about last week. Last week we started talking about the family breakdown, and the many different ways the family has been broken down. In our planning talk, Future, Nick Cannon, Russell Wilson,
Jesus Christ. And Jesus, you got to say Jesus Christ, even if he's not on the list. We just want to say Jesus Christ because of the first 2.
And apparently Jesus Christ because of the first 2.
What was it? Russell and LeBron.
So, Russell Wilson, LeBron James, right? They get vilified often. Right? Pretty often. For pretty much everything.
Yeah.
We have also then Future. We have Nick Cannon.
I want to start with Nick Cannon. and it's baffling to me. So you know, you get your headlines from different places. So Nick Cannon basically came out in an interview and said that he feels bad that he's not able to like be there for all of his kids in, you know, like physically, you know, present, because he's making millions and millions and millions of dollars. He got long money, so he can financially support his kids. But he's only one. Nick Cannon got 8 kids, and I believe there's another one on the way. So
how many kids?
I think 8. I feel like he's John and Kate plus 8.
8?
Yeah, and you know, so of course every kid financially taken care of. So I can't knock him for that. But he's feeling bad because he can't be there for them in a way that he wants him to. And I mean, like, reality probably should have set in after kid number 2 or 3 or 4 that you know, he definitely turned into LeBron. Not 5, not 6, not 7. He's on a roll.
He's on a roll.
But you know, like you gotta know that, you know, because, you know, if you're not having kids by the same person, then you're immediately dividing your time. So then to do that over and over and over again means that there's less of you to go around. And so, you know, did we not feel bad until child number 8 or 9 was on the way, or did we always feel bad and we just, you know, never learned from it? It's been baffling to me.
So let's what are we talking about here? Because are we talking about because he's not able to be around with each kid because of the different baby mothers he has? Is that what we're talking about?
Because they're geographically in different places.
Geographically in different places,
and he's only one person.
So what about, you know, there's a dynamic there too, because, you know, geographically, right? There's no way you can be, you know, in the same place at the same time. But, you know, I got a co-worker, I'm not gonna put his name out there, but he's got 12 kids, and I'm just thinking, like, how do you, when you have that many kids, how do you even find the time to give each kid, you know, the attention?
12.
Well, so I guess the question would be, where are they? Because, you know, even if you have, you know, kind of like being a teacher, we can have 30, you know, 40, 50 in the classroom. But if we've got them all at once, they are at least getting us at the same time. So, you know, and there will be points where you see a kid in the same room has more of a need than another in the room. So you can kind of give the ones who don't need your help a chance to kind of do their thing while you support the one who needs it more. And that role will always change. So if a student better understands this concept, but not this one, then, you know, I'll give you like free reign for the concepts you understand better, and you can even support your peers to help them while I give attention to the one who needs it. And so if they're all in the same place, I feel like it's kind of, you know, that same thing. Well, you know, there are points where you get all of us, if we're having a meal together, everybody gets to sit down and we can talk at the table. How was everyone's day? And you're present with all of them. But, you know, if a particular child is, you know, acting out in school, I'm going to give you a little more attention because you need it more at this particular time.
Versus having to fly out.
Right. You know, because then you got to leave the 99 to find the lost sheep, and then leave the 99 to find another lost sheep. Yeah, you're going far. You're going far.
Well, see, yeah, and this the only reason I asked that, so, you know, we can expound a little bit more, you know, upon that and talk about that. That's huge. You know, even if you have the 12 or even 15 kids, you know, them being in the same place and you being there and being able to, divide your time, is you're gonna have to. You're gonna divide your time, and it's a strain to try to fly over into different areas and as much as he's doing. So, you know, it's, you know, that's a decision, but at the same time, what is that doing to the kids, to the family structure? You know, like we talked about last time. You know, what is that doing to the family structure? You know,
that's a good point. And also, there's another dad we might want to throw in that situation too, and he's been all over social media. But I want to get you guys' feedback on it too. Y'all heard? Like, how do y'all feel about Flavor Flav?
What about Flavor Flav?
Just finding out he has a 3-year-old kid.
Flavor Flav is like 72 years old.
I thought he was 101. What?
Flavor Flav just found out he has a 3-year-old.
You just found out.
There's
Flavor Flav is still out here popping out children
There's so many
in the
things.
year of our Lord 2022.
There's so many things.
He got his shoes happening around me. You know.
I'm wondering.
There's some little clock chains popping around all over the place down there, man.
First of all, for the record, I'm not up to this. I just hearing this though, I need to drink. So, for those of you who have been with us, this is not an up to it thing. This is just Flavor
Flav.
the dude with the clock.
We gotta go to the Google machine live.
Please pull.
Flavor Flav.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
First of all, I'm still trying to get over the fact that he had his own reality show and people kissed him in the mouth. That's the
Many times.
Many times.
Bad broads though.
Many times.
Like some
Many times.
some bad ones.
Oh man.
Still out there single.
The dude with the Viking hat and the clock around his neck.
Man. We know some of them had
This guy.
Oh, you
Can I do
There's
this
a
right?
third
Let me see if I
kid.
can do
Did you
this.
A 3.
a three? Like
like
same age as my kid?
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
no way. That means he was out here in these streets within the last 3.5 years.
Nicely.
So here preparing for
6
That is
days
first
ago.
fresh news.
I know you lying.
Hey, that's his twin right here.
How
Hold
many
on.
kids that he?
Hold on.
I know you lying.
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
Ain't no way.
We're going there, y'all.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Y'all get
Boy,
ready.
ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Okay.
Boy, ain't no way.
Flavor.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Hey, man.
Boy, ain't no way.
Bro, my man right here looks just like him.
That's not a good thing. Boy, ain't no way.
Hey,
Just had a
Man.
3-year-old.
And it had his
6.
youngest at
Flavor
6.
Flav has 8 kids. So he got 8
And had his youngest
at
at
60.
60.
So
So you raising a 3-year-old?
with a hernia.
and some more.
So you got an SSI check, maybe?
In between colonoscopies.
He's got a wow.
You got you got
Still.
you got potty training and AARP? How?
How can y'all both changing
I'm
diapers?
just trying to understand it, right? Because
I need another drink. What was I just saying?
But on the other side of that, Future has another one on the way. Like
Future has another one on the
But
way.
he-
Bow Wow's baby mother.
Bow Wow's baby.
Oh.
Like, yeah,
He
like
got a
he,
penny baby.
I just, like it seems like all those Millennium Tour people are just being just recycled. Like, yeah, I think it's Bow Wow's either ex or baby mother or something like that. Future and put a seed in her. Like, the man just made this on Valentine's Day, the worst day. Everybody wanted the attention. Now he done gave his attention and some to another one.
Mm.
But the hood look up to Future.
I think this is the year Drake-isms.
Well,
Everybody's
so-
going to
so-
that mini party.
Here's a question: why do people, or why would anybody look up to Future? And why would anybody look up to Future literally outside of his rap career?
I mean, that's enough for people.
No,
You know,
that's fair.
Because of the things that come with the rap career. You get to travel, you get people screaming your name at concerts, you get women trying to sneak into your hotels and on your tour buses, and if that's a lifestyle that appeals to you, having different women and whatever the case may be, then you subscribe to that, or even the belief that like you have to, put people down to big yourself up, calling people out their names and all those kinds of things, like to bring women to you. Like that's what some people subscribe to.
I was going to say that's the created culture. So that's the created culture that the kids are seeing, and that's what they have to look up to. But maybe that's their only avenue. Maybe that's what's being shown to them. Maybe they haven't had an opportunity to branch out to see something different. But that's what they're exposed to, right? It's all about
What was that? That's money.
It's
exposure.
what sells. It's what
Right.
sells.
But it's all right. So it's what sells, right? And then exposure. So what are they being exposed to, right? And do they have the opportunity to be exposed to something else? versus, you know, this is all they, I don't want to say can afford, right? But
this is all they see, though.
This is all they see.
Yeah.
This is what's being pumped out there.
Because people buy into it, you know, because there is wholesome entertainment, there's wholesome news stories, there's wholesome, like, that stuff exists, but the media is going to push out, you know, reality TV and
What?
Drama sells. Yeah, drama sells.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Drama sells. I mean, even for us, like, you know, again, being a school teacher, students are running to fights, but they not rushing to get to class on time. So, like, you know, it's not what's popular. It's not.
And they're running to fights to pull the phone out and be the one to
Yeah,
on camera.
you know. So yeah, it's just different. But I truly think that women, like, have a big say in what'll play. Think about Coach Carter when the movie Coach Carter, and I mean, based on a true story, but when he went to the girls and was like, you know, I'm trying to get my guys in the library, you know, do you all mind? Boom. And they watched those girls saunter into the library, and then all of a sudden your basketball team's in the library. So, like, you know, if women say, you know, oh, we're not going to get behind the misogyny and all of that, I think it'll change what we're, like, hearing and seeing, you know. But, like, they subscribe to that stuff too. The amount of people I see that are females tweeting, reposting, you know, hip hop reunions and, you know, city girls and all of that, like that's what they subscribe to. So, you know, men in that fashion are going to follow suit.
Of course. Unpopular opinion: most misogynists are women. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, that's true. That's like, hey, look, it's like back when we were in college, right? If we wanted to throw a party, all we had to do was invite the females.
And that brought the
females.
males. They brought the males.
That brought the other clients in,
Like
right?
the ladies, the fellas will follow.
So, but I mean, that's how it goes. You know, women free all night, men pay to get in. Why? Because if the women show up, you know, men will pay to get in.
And we know the men will spend the money.
Yeah.
Trying to impress the women that didn't pay to get in. This is why more men drink.
We preaching better than y'all
This is why
saying
more men
amen.
drink.
You know, we preaching better than y'all saying amen. That's,
Y'all wasn't even.
y'all wasn't even paying attention. That's
They weren't ready. They don't want to hear us. They just want to dance.
So then what they're seeing in, you know, in that culture, right? As we talked about the family, you know, structured breakdown, right? You know, that what they're seeing, what is that doing to the family, you know, structured breakdown? Is there one in there, right? With the futures and the Nick Cannons, right? Having the plus baby mamas, things of that nature, right? What is that doing to, you know, the community as a whole?
It's creating 8 separate fatherless households. It's what that did.
Yeah.
That created 8 fatherless households.
It's creating a greater need for Russell Wilsons.
And there you have it. And like popping out, you know, multiple kids all willy-nilly, like that's not a good look. Like, we know it's not that kids can't be successful under a single parent. It's that we know that statistically kids tend to do better when they have both parents. That's just what it is. You know, doesn't mean that there aren't exceptions to that rule, but we know that generally speaking that kids do better in that era, in that case. So, you know, we know kids that grow up without a father in the home are more likely to go towards.
Oh, just peeping at the comments. You do your thing.
Oh, word,
Yeah.
okay. You know, more likely to head towards, you know, crime or incarceration or whatever it is, like more likely to, right? So what I see is 8 fatherless households because the priority is put more on popping out kids than it is on marriage and on the structure of the family.
But there's part of me still wants to think, like, maybe we're still looking at it at one perspective. Like, I still want to get a lady's perspective on it because, you know, they probably have that idea, that intent of actually having a family structure They buy into the idea that, oh, well, maybe I got a man that can actually take care of me and supply for a household. Then pop out a kid and stuff just go left.
Well, I would also like to see the statistics on, you know, these women trying to collect a check. You know,
he said it. He said it.
Let me get.
He said it before me.
Let me get with Future, because I know if I pop a baby out, I mean, I'm gonna be set for life.
Have a baby by me, baby.
You know, listen, because that goes the same with sports players. Any you know, high figure, you know, male. And you know, not. Hey, I'm just saying, right? So
Specifically.
But also, right? Who's to say that those 8, you know, women, right, baby mamas, don't find, you know, a male figure like well, I'm not gonna say like us, the probability. But anyway, who's to say that they don't find, you know, that male figure to be in the home, you know, with that kid? So then they're not fatherless. What about that?
I think that's still a dangerous plan, though. Because you know, you never know how receptive the kid is going to be to that person, even if ideally it works for the mom. You know, you never know how that dynamic could change over time. So it could work in the beginning, but you know, you may see pieces of the kid's real father later on that could change the perspective of the man later on. So like, you're literally playing Russian roulette if that's the scenario that you're trying to create. I want to secure the bag, but have another man to fill in. You know, I think it's a dangerous road to travel. I mean, even if a man were to do that, you know, with a woman, I'm, you know, going to trap her, make her have my baby, but then I want to, you know, like I'm intentionally trying to be with somebody else. You create a dynamic that is volatile at all times. So, you know, I won't say I don't understand the need to be like financially secure, because that's important, because kids are expensive all day, every day. But it's just it's a dangerous gamble, you know, with your child's mental well-being, psychological well-being, all of those kinds of things.
I don't support anything that undermines the father. So anything that undermines the father of that child, I don't support any of that. I think if she's able to go out and find somebody that is going to be, you know, step in or stand in kind of father or good father figure, I'm good with that. You know, the child's life is what's most important. But again, what's the likelihood? I mean, the probability of that. I'd love to see the stats on that. It
doesn't take away from, you know, the fact. In the beginning, it's like, well, wait a minute, are you out here just passing your seat around, or like what are you doing here? So okay, I mean, I totally understand. I'm just asking questions.
No, I feel you.
And so I think in scenarios like this, because we say it all the time, we live regular lives by standard. You know, these are celebrity lives, you know, celebrity lifestyles, you know, the travel, the amount of money they have access to, the places they have access to, it's, you know, very much different. So like we can only project or, you know.
But Russell Wilson also lives that same lifestyle, and he's not out here doing this, right?
You are correct. I don't want to call him a dime a dozen, but he's got dime a dozen kinds of qualities for what we have been exposed to typically. And I'm going to put that in quotations because, you know, with the Brittany Renners of the world, we hear more about athletes who, you know, step out on their women. And again, it's the culture. So your Love and Hip Hops, your Real Housewives of, your Basketball Wives, like those are the shows. So that's what's in the media. So it's what we get all the time. Even if it's not the case, it's again what's pumped out. So it seems that way. Perception is, you know, perception can become that reality, even if it's not the case. So we know it may not be that way. However, if it's all you see,
Right,
why
no,
would you not
right,
think differently?
exactly. No,
Yeah.
So here's the question, right? Just a question from the comments. Who created that culture, and what does it do to the family structure?
Who created the?
I guess the culture of popping out random babies,
I guess what we're talking about,
creating
right?
fatherless household.
I still think
I don't know
that's
exactly what time
How much time do we have, and how far we're back do we want to go?
Hey,
I mean,
what
so
damn
far
time
from the
we
last
we either started a few minutes late or an hour early. So
I mean, literally the breaking down of the households, I believe started at slavery, because if you could strip the father away from the mother, you make him, and away from his kids, you make him weak. So they divided the families as slavery to keep the man weak, aside from, the mental like conditioning and the beating of, all of that, but to still separate him from his family at his selling made, that's taking a part of you.
But I'll push back on that just to say that since like post-slavery, right, there was a time where Black people got married and stayed married at a faster rate and stayed married longer than any other demographic. What changed?
So
This is after slavery, post-slavery.
Work, I think has something to do with it, because again, in a traditional sense, and headed towards cancellation. So the man's the head of the household. He goes out, he works, he brings home all the bacon. The woman stays in, she takes care of the kids. So, in order for him to do enough, be enough, whatever, he stays out and he works. And he's, and I'm, again, it's not in all kind of thing, but it's a thing that because dad works, mom has a better relationship with kids, there's still a bit of a disconnect. And again, not saying it's everybody, but it's sure. Just some things that we've seen. So dad gets home, he's tired from working all day. There's dinner and then there's bed. So you didn't see. I just don't think you saw it the same, and there was still conditionings that went into a lot of those things. Just a lot of the stuff that we had to deal with. So I think it changed a little bit over time. But there has been a lot of, like, I'll call it behind the scenes stuff that affects the way our households look.
Go ahead, Q.
I think media kind of like perpetuated that change too. Like, even though we had households where we might not have had mom and dad in the picture, we grew up watching shows where we saw the whole family dynamic of mom, dad, kids in the household. We had shows like Family Matters, The Cosby Show, where we actually
had examples
of what a family dynamic should be. And then I think what happened is decades later, we still had shows like reality TV shows coming out where they were showing that same family dynamic of maybe a husband and wife, a boyfriend and a girlfriend. But once money came into the situation, it was more like, hey, you can have that family dynamic, but hey, if you had this amount of money, you can still have a wife and end up having a baby mama on the side, maybe a couple girlfriends, and that became okay. It was like the more people you slept with, your status was up even higher, and that's what appealed to the younger generations. So I think media definitely perpetuated a big change that we have, especially in the Black household. Right now.
You emulate what you see. Yeah, that makes sense. You're going to emulate what you see, and if all you see is, frankly speaking, what is dysfunction to some extent at least, if that's all you see, then it's probably what you're going to emulate. Monkey see, monkey do.
And music videos and songs talk about money, cars,
sex,
uncertified garden tools.
Yeah, but even before that, though, right? We talk about work, right? What we look at the opportunities that we had to try to even get work, and what was the level of work, and how much time did we need to take, to be at work in order to bring enough home and take care of the household. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, we started off just right after slavery, boom, we got it. We're working the white collar jobs. No, we had to start at the bottom and try to, bring it to the top and find out other ways. Now, but to the other side of that, though, is a lot of businesses were started. A lot of businesses. There are times in history where you can see thriving Black businesses, you know, places that were just thriving, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, you know, comes in and bombs drop, and or you know, I'm gonna say it, police come in and tear it down. I know for a fact, right, through my wife's side of the family, right, that some stuff had happened because of some crooked police. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying all right, but I'm just saying like these factors come into play. And what does that do to your mental?
Right.
Like when you keep trying, and you're hearing, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but you're trying and trying and trying, right? And it's like every time you try to go over here, all right, I'm gonna go over here, I'm succeeding. Boom, I get 9. All right, I'm going over here, I'm succeeding. And so what is that then, you know, child, sibling, whatever, right? Seeing happen. I don't want that to happen to me.
So why try?
Why try?
Yeah.
You know? And then we talk about, you know, just the father even being there, the mental space that he has to be able to come home and look his family in the face, right? Like, I mean, I'm not giving a pass. I'm just saying, you know, that's tough.
Some harsh realities that we deal with, you know, yeah, some very harsh realities.
That's tough. So, I mean, yeah.
Nah, y'all, I'm with y'all. I'm generally reluctant to put all of the blame on slavery.
No. And here's why. Here's why. Because even before slavery, right? Even if you go back to like the overseas, right? The day of the kings and the queens, right? If you were just a peasant or just someone in, you know, that was one of their, you know, servants or
like
just
servitude,
just, you know, a part of their kingdom, you got to be careful because the king might say, "Oh, I like your wife; she's mine now." So even before that, right? Even post slavery. So yeah, I mean, we can go back that far.
I mean,
they,
you know,
handpick them.
Everybody's been oppressed.
Everybody is
based on that. You know? By the way, fun fact: y'all know that fuck literally is an acronym. It says fornicate under consent of the king.
You needed permission.
Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? That's what fuck means. Fuck means fornicate under consent of the king. Yeah, I'm the king.
You know, but it's wild to need permission
from the king.
You know, to do what you want.
To get it in.
To do what you want.
Yeah. All right, let's check out some of these.
I didn't know I had that power.
King Rich gives his consent for all fornication. All fornication for those of you who are hearing us live right now. All right, what we got? How does this parallel slave culture benefit the creator? Ooh, Tasha, we might have to talk to you one-on-one. I like this one. And how do we as a people emancipate ourselves from this parallel slave culture?
That's such a loaded question.
Got to start somewhere, right?
I mean, yeah, you gotta start somewhere.
It's hard to even have a beginning when that's the hamster wheel what America's been running on, but just don't say it publicly.
And it's there, and I mean there are they're like it's, you know, because like Rick said, going back to Black Wall Street, it's like once you know, establish something for yourself and see that it has success, then it gets torn down. Now what that looks like is unequal approval of bank loans to start businesses. And, you know, like even I remember this one story of a Black family who was trying to sell their house, and they were like significantly priced lower because they were Black. And they figured that out because they like erased everything that showed who they were in the house, had a white couple stand in for them, and then the price of everything went up. So like there's, you know, even when you're trying to go about things the right way and, you know, take care of it, there's still stuff, you know, in places that is going to create hardship for you even when you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, do the right thing. So like,
so I got a question about something like that. So would you say that that's a systemic issue, or is that the individual issue?
I think I feel like it's a little bit of both, because
okay, here we go.
Because, like I said, there are, statistics that support that, Black people who are trying to start businesses receive loans at either, lower amounts than white people or Jewish people, or, like Chinese to Asian, whatever. Like, in a nutshell, they can come into our communities and open and carry out, but we can't, start a gas station in our own communities, like those kinds of things. So like the ability to be approved is still in somebody's hands before we can even, and we can have the same kind of business plan. We can have the models and all of that, but there's still somebody who has to say yes before we can, get it off the ground.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, right? So, at one point, right, it was either, we leave and start our own, or we stay here and integrate, right? And so, once integration happens, right, even though we were integrating, it was like there's still a game to be played, and so the thing is, we still have to learn how to play the game and then put ourselves into position, right? Put ourselves in position, to be the owners of the game.
All right. Okay. All right. Here go my pushback. Y'all ready? Here we go. Bow, 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 bow. I need a sound effect for that. I need a sound effect for the pushback. Does that mean that, one, we can't still do what we need to do to improve our communities? Because there was a point, going back to the question, there's a point that our community overall broke down. And I think the community broke down when the family structure broke down. When the family started to break down, the community started to break down. The strength of any community are the fathers in the community. If you take the fathers out of the community, you automatically weaken said community. And this is nothing against anybody, male, female, whatever. The fact is, though, if you take the fathers out, you are going to weaken that community. That's anywhere you go, right? So our family structure as Black people hit a major change. We talked about this last week. Major change around the 60s and 70s. We were 20%, having babies at a 20% rate out of wedlock, to fast forward, we're 75% out of wedlock. Why? That's just in the last few years. So from that time period, slavery was done, Jim Crow was done, Black Wall Street was done, right? All those, go back and remember how shit was fucked up times. We're already done, right? And had already happened. That's what I mean. It already happened.
Because we still not done, but it happened.
Facts. They had already taken place, right? So since then, our community has gone 20% babies out of wedlock, 70% babies out of wedlock. Subsequently, our communities have higher crime, lower graduation rates, lower grades overall, higher rates of unemployment, higher rates of incarceration, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Why?
I think those are still multifaceted.
Okay. Let's talk about a couple of them.
Okay, so on the education side, our standardized tests are still European standards. And so it's not even like just Black children who are not doing well with standardized tests. You like poor whites and like moderate income whites are not performing as well in general with standardized testing. Standardized testing is outdated at best in education. Like it doesn't.
Why do you say that?
Because it doesn't speak to like what what our group of kids can do and know, like, because they have access to so much, like just I think in general, we're not tapping into like all that kids can know and do. Like electives are being pushed to the side when, for what it's worth, they're more important than ever. Like it's still a math, science, reading push when we need kids in STEM. We need, we still need trades. Like you're forever and a day gonna need a plumber. You're gonna need an electrician. Like you're gonna need automotive techs. Like, and those things used to exist in schools, and they pushed them out. So like it's like you're trying to force every kid to go to college, and that's not every kid's, like that's not every kid's future. So we're again forcing them to like be based on a standardized test when that doesn't fit every child, and it doesn't prove all they know. I'm not good with tests, but I'm a very smart person. But just the thought that I have to do this in order to meet somebody's approval makes me nervous. And you can see that in kids. You sit them in a room for 3 or 4 hours at a time and say, you've got to do well on this or else it's going to be this. Like, that's not the most effective way to prove what a kid knows.
So what is then? Because you got to test them somehow. We got to figure out, we got to get a line or a scale somewhere.
That's why education is going towards standard-based, things. But again, we're doing standards-based for report cards, but then still making them take a test that is not based on standards. So, if I give you a standard, you can meet the standard, you can exceed the standard, but it's not necessarily a grade. It's I either can or I can't, whereas a math test is A, B, C, D, E. So like they look different, they feel different. And I think of like music specifically, like there's, yes, you can get 99 out of 100 notes right, but we know that there's still a feeling to it. So somebody can play everything correct, but it doesn't have a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like there's still a subtlety, a nuance, a vibe, you know what I'm saying, that goes with it. So it's right, but does it feel right?
I mean, what it feels like doesn't matter. What the fuck?
No, I think it does, because to a client who's bringing you their multi-million-dollar business, you've got to sell them on the feeling as well as the the statistical stuff. Like if you're not going to like market my product right, I don't care what your numbers look like, people still come into my product based on the advertisement. So like you got to have both of those things in order to create success. Don't just know the numbers.
Which one weighs more? Which one? You got millions of dollars on the table right now. Which one weighs more? Facts or feeling?
I think we talked about this though, because those Nike commercials, right? Those Nike commercials, they're not selling a product. When you see those Nike commercials nowadays, they are selling that feeling and how that commercial makes you feel. So I mean, I can see Kev's point here is because they're not saying, oh, Nike's, $9.99 and sell this, sell that. No, they have titles which say, dream or something like that. Their commercials are like, selling that feeling. So
yeah, like,
I can get.
So marketing is always going to have a little bit of feeling involved in it. I'm with that. What I'm saying is, you got millions of dollars on the table. Are you more concerned about the brass tacks or the feeling?
I would truly say it depends on who you're asking, because like if I know my product is dope enough that if people could get into the how it makes you feel, how it makes you look, what it represents, I'm gonna care more about that than I will about the actual dollar point, because it's going to sell.
You would only care about that because you know that that's going to yield more money, though.
Right.
So it ultimately is the money still.
I mean, the money's important, but I'm saying the thing that I need to be in front is the feeling,
So if somebody on the same side as you had the same yield and could deliver the same exact thing, the thing that puts you over the top is how you made them feel versus how they made them feel.
And how does that saying go? People,
don't care how you know till they know
Don't care how much you know until they know.
Or they won't remember what you said to them, but they'll remember how you made them feel. Something along those lines, like that. That I think it goes a long way. I'm not dismissing the financial aspects, but I think that feeling goes a long way.
All right, so let's take it back again. Like, so back to the families, right? At what point did we allow our community to break down, and how do we get it back? I know it's many layers. We're not going to be able to cover all of that today.
Our community's been hit from every side.
Let me ask you this, right?
And we got somebody with you too, Kevin. Didn't do too well.
Let me ask you this, right?
So, people like that.
Men, and I'm not going to lump all men together. I'm going to say most. I would say most men, right? Logical thinkers. We're all about fixing the problems, right? We're all about going where we are needed. Could you say that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go where we're needed. So, are we needed?
What do you mean? Like our black people?
No, I'm just saying, where did we go wrong, right?
No, he's probably telling us that we're not needed. No, real talk though, we didn't condition the whole generation of males, probably 2 generations of men, that women don't need us. We conditioned 2 generations of men that women don't need us, right? And now we turn around and we look and we say, oh no, what happened to all the fathers? Well, what hell, you didn't convince 2 generations of us, you don't need us. I'm just saying.
No, I'm with it. All right, so playing devil's advocate, did we push women away as men with, like verbal abuse, physical abuse, infidelity? You don't think we pushed?
No, because that doesn't apply to all women. That only applies to some.
But so again, what we see, because culture has pushed verbal abuse, physical abuse, and infidelity. Just imagine. I mean, like literally, take it back to grade school. What did they say? If a boy hits you, it's because what? Or if a boy treats you bad, it's because what?
I don't know. I never heard that.
Because
he likes you.
He likes you, right? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If he pushes you on the playground, that's just because he likes you. So as small of a thing as that seems, it's a conditioning that bad treatment means that he cares. So then that cycle continues. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. If when we get a girl's number, you're not supposed to call her for the first 2-3 days just to show you not pressed. It's always.
But it's because we're not pressed though.
But it's always been something like you.
I mean, but they got rules for us too.
I mean, they do, but I'm saying these, so all of these rules that we put in place, the rules that men have for women, the rules that women have for men, create conflict when it could just be a straightforward thing. Like, why do I have to, hold something back in order to get, that attention from you? Why can't you just appreciate who I am sincerely, and of course, we've gotten to points where we're just going to be who we are. But I can, speak personally. At a point, I felt like I had to be somebody other than myself just because myself didn't feel good enough, because I was too transparent. I was too honest. I was too open, so then you got to be secretive. You got to hold your feelings back, because again, that word simp, if I show too much emotion too early, even if it's genuinely how I feel, now I'm overbearing. I'm a simp. I'm this, I'm that. So then we learn, okay, cool. If that's not working, I'll make myself something other than what I am, so that I can, get to the point I'm trying to get to. I just think we've been hit from every side with relationships in our culture and community.
But I think everybody has. I think everybody of every culture on every side, male and female, I think we've all been hit with different shit. You know what I'm saying? Different things like that. We can't. What we can't do is just sit here and act like women were the only ones treated bad in relationships.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that.
Yeah, I know,
Because you asked the question. That's why I said, do you think we've done some things to push them to that point where they feel like they don't need us?
But why, who's to say that we haven't gotten to the same point with them?
I didn't say.
I'm
that.
asking you. I'm asking you.
No, I'm saying. I just, I was just playing devil's advocate for where we
Me
were.
Me too.
So then, let me ask this then, right? Since we're, again, you were asking, what changed? Why are the men, not there, right? Do you think that that it's systematic in place then? Because again, we talked about, people are gonna. It's a culture thing, right? So they're gonna act out what they mostly see, what they're mostly exposed to, and like you were saying, if women are or the young ladies are being exposed to, oh baby, it's okay, it just means he likes you, right? Where's that coming from? Is that just a culture thing? Is that what's being pushed? Who taught that? That mom that grandma that taught the mom that, right? So is it that the system that was already set up in place is still in effect and is passing down through generations? We still haven't fixed the system of it yet. Have we not found what works best?
What I will say is, it's not just an us thing.
Right.
And that's coming from a predominantly white area back here, like the same stuff that we're discussing, I saw in the predominantly white area. I saw, affluent, money making fathers, doctors, lawyers, business owners, funeral home owners, and they getting long money because people die every day. They're cheating,
funeral business. What's up? Hey, LB, what's up? What you trying to do?
But we gonna always be in business.
What did our band director say? People die every day.
But those
real talk.
Hey.
But yeah, those cheating, those same rich white people cheating on their wives, having babies by other women. Like, it exists in their communities just like ours. It's just, again, what the media puts in front of us will make it seem like it only happens in the black community. That ain't it though.
So to answer your previous question, yes, men have definitely done some things. Okay. Yes. All right. So we take that part. Yeah. We've absolutely done some stuff. I don't believe, however, that is a shared trauma of all. I think it's a shared trauma of some, probably more than we know. But I don't believe it's a shared trauma of all. But absolutely, things have been done for sure. And we sorry because we need y'all.
We do.
Now, real talk, we need y'all.
We do.
And we need to. First thing we need to do is we need to admit that we all need each other. All right. Real talk.
We all need each other.
Go ahead, pull something for me.
Yeah, yes, we can up to that. We need
is it 10 o'clock?
We all need each other.
It's 10 o'clock. All right, cool. Let's hit them with a little intro real quick. Let's get these bottles poured up again. Let's get it. Boom. Boom. Bam, we out here. And just like that, we are full again.
Yeah, sir.
So we gotta be up to something. Is that ASAP? Shit. We just finished talking about me, y'all, and here's a man who he needs to be smacked. He needs a good Will Smith smack in the mouth. Like ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky.
Okay. All right.
I don't care.
All right.
He needs an open hand smack.
What did he do, man? Tell him what he did. Tell the fans what he did.
You cheated on Rihanna,
He
bro?
cheated on Rihanna?
He cheated on Rihanna?
He out of his mind. He out of his mind.
You cheated on Rihanna, bro?
Sorry,
Not
y'all.
Riri.
Sorry,
She made Savage Fenty.
Riri.
She put on Savage Fenty.
Riri.
You cheated on Rihanna, bro? the baby in her and then cheated?
I mean, he was already out of order to begin with.
But he like, I'm just saying, as far as things go, you know,
right?
Because Chris Brown shot his shot, and then beat the shot.
Beat the shot.
Drake shot his
Beat
shot.
Charles too.
Drake shot his shot.
One good time.
And then Drake and Chris had some, diss records going back and forth, but none of them got to the ultimate goal. ASAP. Represent for the dark dudes. She left the light ones and went to the dark dudes.
He wasn't.
Y'all saw that? Oh, y'all saw that? Y'all saw that?
Listen, for all intents and purposes, I'm on a porch. I'm not in the house. Let's okay. I'm brown. All right. I'm not light. I'm brown. I'm on the porch, just for the record. But like, he was holding it down for the dark dudes, and you stepped out on Rihanna. What?
Dark-skinned brothers. My dark-skinned brothers. One has failed us. He has failed us.
Here's the first one.
I know. Brothers, we got to do better.
Because old boy from the Migos stepping out on Cardi B.
I mean,
Well,
we're not gonna go there.
Listen.
Don't do it.
Listen.
Don't do it.
they're doing. All right.
they are trying to get us canceled.
They are.
They are actively
So I
trying to
want
get
to
us
say the
canceled.
type of one. All right.
Nah, I'm not because
What I'm saying is, though, Cardi,
I
if
have-
what she says in her videos and songs are accurate,
She's very genuine.
then she.
But I have the utmost respect for Cardi B, and I'm gonna tell you why. She makes no bones about the life that she lived, but when she flipped it, she flipped it. So she got away from the stripper thing. I mean, literally said, "I did my body, changed the game." Now she's a businesswoman, so she ain't a stripper no more. She's a businesswoman. She's an MC and a good, but like a damn good one at that. I cannot take that away from her.
No, not at all.
But like
not at all.
she's enterprising as a person. Playboy just picked her up as a consultant, so now she's going to be consulting for Playboy. And again, who better to take on that role? I'm just saying, like, she's like literally killing the game.
And all the little girls of the world can look up to her.
Well, first of all, it's not her job to be a role model, so we not.
It's not.
It's none
It's
of
not
the
put
little
out the
girls in
culture,
world.
right?
I'm
But
saying
that's what they're.
I just,
That's what the
I'm
people with the dollars
vehement, like,
are putting out.
it's not an athlete. It's not an athlete's job to be a role model. It's not a rapper's job.
But they are going to be role models, though. Whether it's their job to be one or not.
I'm just saying
they are
that.
going to be one, though.
But as we raise our kids, we're telling them, like, you can enjoy whatever, but it's not like, don't look up to them to be who you like want to mirror your, like, I would never want my child to mirror his life based on Future or like any rapper or singer or like, I don't care, like even LeBron James. I love everything that LeBron James has done, but I don't want you to imitate him. Can you learn from him? Yes. Do I want you to imitate him though? No, because like we don't know the pressure that exists. Like, we can see some of the pressure, but we still don't know what it's like to live that life on an everyday basis. So I don't want you to emulate that. You can appreciate it, but don't emulate it. You literally have to live your own life.
But to be fair, most people are gonna probably try to emulate.
And I think they're wrong because they have no idea. Like, when he had to wake up, and do this basketball training at 11, 12, 13, 14, when the spotlight hit him at 15, like the scrutiny that they put on him, the expectation that they gave to him, like, you don't want that for your kid at that tender of an age. There's not many people who could handle that, because we've heard prospects who have had, they're going to be the next Zion, for instance. Zion hasn't shown up in the NBA for almost 2 years at this point, but he was supposed to be the next LeBron James.
Ain't that because he got hurt?
I mean, it is, but it's also because he was already like a big dude. You know what I'm saying? So incredibly athletic, but still his weight is a lot for his size. Like, he's like 6'6", really, like pushing 300. A lot of muscle, but it's still a lot of weight for him to carry. LeBron James, 6'8", like he was like 265, but it was like 1% body fat because of the way he took care of his body. So the person that LeBron James is, you put that expectation on Zion, and it looks nothing like that. but that's the expectation that they gave. So even a person of Zion Williams' caliber and athleticism still can't live up to LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would never put that expectation on a child or want them to like carry that hope and desire for themselves. That's a lie.
You're not going to put it on them, but you know, if they're trying to be that or greater, they're going to. They're going to say, you know what? Here's the standard, and here's why I want to be. I'm going to try to meet that.
Yep.
And so, I mean, it's just if that's where they want to go, that's where they're going to want to. That's where they're going to go. So, and I get what you're saying. You're not going to put it on them.
Like you don't have to put the pressure on them.
But once
like,
they see it, then that's somebody's going to want to be better than Cardi B. Somebody's going to want to be better than LeBron James.
Somebody's always going to want to try to do better than you're better.
Right. But
so,
I want my kids to be better than me. So can they like have a desire to be great without wanting to emulate the person?
Well, you're going to take some things.
Yeah.
So you're gonna emulate to an extent. I mean, for the longest time, I thought Chris Brown was Michael Jackson's son because he was emulating that Bama so much.
And Kobe emulated Mike. You know, we know that.
But I mean, what works, and like how I was brought up is how I would want my kids to be brought up. So it's okay. I wouldn't say to idolize, but to look at a person's path to see what they achieve. But my parents and my family always taught me, be careful of wishing something on yourself that somebody else has because you never know how they got it. So
say that again.
Be careful of wishing what somebody else has because you never know how they got it. So that's always what I've been brought up on. So my family would say, okay, it's okay to want to have those big goals, have those big dreams, but if you get it, you're going to get it your way, not because this is how he did it. This is how she did it. Make your own path. That's how I always been brought up. But if you find that niche that works, that doesn't compromise your goals or your morals, your morale, go for it.
I think that's the biggest thing right there is not compromising your goal. It's a little bit about Cardi. She said she won't expose her daughter to her music because her music is for adults,
which is fair.
She's done an excellent job.
That's fair. Like
I mean,
even if it wasn't her music, when I ride in the car with K2, I only play gospel,
right?
Because I don't want that stuff hitting his ear early. Right. So it's not my music. I'm not the maker, but still, I don't want him to hear that stuff.
Yeah, it's age appropriate.
It's age appropriate. So, and that's why I said, like, I respect her because she knows the life she lived. She created better for herself from that life, and now she's moving different. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I feel like old boyfriend Amigos messed up. Like, you didn't appreciate how enterprising of a woman you were with just because you're so used to, and probably was, still thinking about the person she used to be. Like, and for us,
or maybe the enterprising woman isn't what he was looking for.
It could be that, but you know,
I mean,
the caliber.
Generally speaking,
you know, she elevated to a certain level of mindset.
Yep.
He wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
A lot of men aren't looking for that necessarily. I mean, you know, there's that part of it. Like, you know, bro from Migos, who was it?
Offset, probably.
I'm 38 years old. I don't know.
They're all the same person to me.
They all damn sound the same, talk the same.
It's something with off and everything. Offset, take off brand, off, you know, 10% off. I don't know, whatever.
Anyway, you know, that might not have been what he was looking for. He might have been looking for something else. You know, he might have been looking for, like most men, I don't know, but most men I believe are looking for peace in their house. She might not have provided peace in the house. Not saying it was okay for him to cheat on her. That's not okay, fellas. But, you know, that might be it too. Who knows? I don't know. But old boy cheating on Rihanna?
Just why would you?
We believed in you, man. we believed in you. All right? You let us all down. Let the whole team dark skin down.
You know what? Part of me feels like it's a small percentage of guys out there who get hurt, not emotionally, but I would say financially. when they realize they're in a relationship with somebody making more money than them, they feel like less of a man. So they're more likely to go out there and go with somebody where they feel like they can take charge in all aspects.
I feel like where
That's the Napoleon complex.
Yeah,
that's an ego thing.
Yeah.
Bro, you got to go to
yeah.
therapy.
Gotta,
Listen,
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
therapy makes its way into every show. Go to therapy. If you're worried about your woman making more money than you, go to therapy. Cause
wife,
like,
if you're out there listening, feel free to make more money than me.
Wife, feel free to make more money than me.
Feel free.
Like,
Everybody visit Sunflower Essentials.
I stand by it. I use it. I put it on my kid. I fully support it. Go get you some Sunflower Essentials.
It's
Sadly,
good.
what up?
We're going to drop the link in the description.
But no,
Hit me up for Tinker Garden. My wife,
you know,
the one. All right, Tinker
That's
Garden.
dope.
Come on.
yeah. So like, because for me, like, I'm a school teacher, and we already know school teachers are underpaid. So like, I can't like come to the proverbial table worried about a woman making more than me. There's like a billion jobs where you're gonna make more than me, but I feel like I'm operating in my calling, and I'm gonna do a ton of other things to make sure that the household is straight. So like, it's not just a financial thing, but I'm also secure enough in myself. So like, if you're worried about somebody making more money than you, that's an ego thing, that's a pride thing. You got to take that to therapy and to Jesus and therapy. Put those things together, and you can work it out.
Provider and breadwinner aren't necessarily the same.
I was getting ready to say that.
Not necessarily the same.
Like, wealth doesn't always equal money.
Provide wisdom.
You know,
Provide
direction,
provide
discipline,
sound thinking.
Yeah.
You know, sound decisions.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
even
provide a
if you're-
meal.
Even
like,
if you're not the breadwinner, you know, you're still the head of the household.
That's right.
And so with that, you have that responsibility, right, to still provide for the family.
That's right. That's right.
go to therapy.
Provide.
Go to therapy.
Everybody needs to go.
What we got?
Everybody needs to go to therapy. I have group therapy and solo therapy. Go to therapy though. Is what we're trying to say.
Here's a comment here. I think it's a cop out to say it's not your job to be a role model. I think a lot of us adults have a responsibility to the younger generation. Now, if you personally don't care, then just say that. Now, I dig that, man. F these kids, yo.
And I get it. I just like, you know, I understand the sentiment, but I literally don't think it's any like, unless we're talking about who you directly affect, you know, i.e. our kids. Like, yes, I want to be a role model to my kid, but for what it's worth, I don't think it, I mean, as a teacher, yes, I feel that way, but like as a person, I don't think it's my job to be a role model to somebody else's kid in another part of the world. Like, that's not, you know what I'm saying? And that's where superstars are. Like, they got to where they were by, I imagine, doing something they wanted to do. So like, you know, if I wanted to make music about sex, drugs, and alcohol, like that's what I wanted to do. Even if that's your experience, because a lot I'll say some, you know, rappers, like, you know, or artists, they speak of their experiences. So if you grew up in the hood and you saw guns and drugs and sex and alcohol and violence, and so that's what you rap about, and people just happen to like your music. Like, I don't want to be a role model. I'm telling you my story, but I don't want to be a role model because of that.
Odds are a lot of those people had somebody else that they looked up to too, though. You know
but probably for the wrong reasons. They, you know, I look up to the drug lord. I look up to, you know what I'm saying, the pimp or the whatever. Like, that's who they looked up because that's who they were exposed to. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's still, they were a role model for them, but like not necessarily the best influence.
Well, let me ask you this though, right? Because, you know, a lot of this stuff that hits the mainstream media, right? Is it necessarily real? Because if somebody said, "Hey, Kevin, I'm gonna pay you $100 million to rap about money, cars, and hoes," what you gonna do?
Rap about money, cars, and hoes.
No, in all sincerity, for me, I would probably pass.
You would pass,
right? I know, I get it. For some people, that's impossible to turn down.
That's what I'm going with, right? Again, us four sitting here, rare breeds. I'll say it. Us four sitting here, rare breeds. Here's why. Again, because majority where they're coming from, whether it's the poverty level or whatever, they got a voice that can hit mainstream, and they say, "What? You gonna give me what?" and it's not even 100 million. They
They
set
basically saying
themselves
all
out
my
for,
dreams can come true, but you need that.
for less than that. So what I'm saying is, right, a lot of stuff people need to look deeper into because a lot of the stuff that's out there, and I will say a lot of the stuff is not. I would say 90% of it not even real.
But then again,
Smoke signal, man. It's a smoke screen.
you still have to look at the dynamic of, I would say, old school neighborhoods compared to now, because younger generations are going to look up and admire to what's missing actually in the household, which is why the drug lord, the gangbangers appealed to kids at that time, because what did you see them doing? Like back in the day, my neighborhood, we had guys that will look after for young boys out there on the street, make sure they weren't doing the wrong thing. So if they needed something for school, they would provide, and if the father wasn't around to provide for it, what's happening today? Oh, you need money for school? Hey, I got you. Come holler at me later. You see him drive around with fancy cars. Exactly. So it's almost like, where did we go wrong within our communities that we didn't have that same aspect? Our grandparents or our parents grew up on. We partially grew up on. Like, what happened to that mentality in our neighborhoods, in our communities?
So we had a few things that this is one of the comments here. It was wasn't it the government's war on poverty in the 60s? We've been drinking. Wasn't it the government's war on poverty in the 60s that first began pushing men out of the homes and communities?
But they also pushed crack into the communities. And
I went to the 80s.
It's just like
syphilis and crack are on the way.
Again, that's part of the. I hate, listen, I'm gonna say it right. Again, I feel like it's still all a part of the systematic. It's a systematic thing, right? We sit here, we can point fingers at where did it go wrong, this, that, and third, but the system set up in place, right, has caused a lot of this just the way things have evolved into, in my opinion, right, I can look at you take anything back to its core, right, and it's the system that's set up in place that makes it run the way that it runs.
Okay.
You take it back to its core, it's the system that's set up in place. Man, I'm gonna say it, I look at my job, right? The reason, my job is the way it is because of the system that's set up right now. So whether it's turnover rates, whether it's just not making enough money, what does the system look like? Right? They talk a lot about what is it? In football, Tom Brady with the Patriots, right? Did the Patriots really have a system set up in place where they could plug and play?
I mean,
some parts of it.
Yeah, to some extent.
Yeah.
Right.
Minus the talent to some extent.
Minus
Tom Brady out.
cheating, right?
Yeah,
Maybe they weren't the best choice.
So the one year that he tore his ACL though,
And Matt Castle
played in. They went like 11-5.
Yeah.
So I mean,
like they missed the playoffs, but it's because everybody else was good.
Yeah.
So that system has a huge part of it, and so that question there about I mean.
I'd want to look into that because and so maybe we can tackle that next week, right? But if there were systems put in place that systematically took us out of the household, then that makes even more sense actually. And I would agree that it's systematic. I think that the black family has been systematically picked apart. Like kind of like if you take some fabric and you just kind of rip at it little by little.
So that you don't notice, right?
You don't even notice it. Before you notice, man, you got two separate pieces right here, right? And we put up that video that said, the one with Kevin Samuels last week, where the young lady said that Why would a black woman, now that we know that we can make the same money as a black man, why would we want to be together with a black man? Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. We don't need to be in competition.
She said, now that we're free.
Yeah, like, and by the way,
as if during that time that we weren't free, right? As if you didn't need us back then, or you only needed us because we were in bondage.
They act like they were oppressed by us, and I would challenge any of you to, we got some black women here watching. Hi, ladies, we love y'all. I challenge any of y'all to point at the time that you were oppressed by black men.
We might have to wait for that one.
I would love to hear the time frame when they checking the notes. That's all right. I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna holler at y'all while they checking the notes. While they checking. Hey, let us know the time where y'all was oppressed by us, by the black man. Yeah, that's right. We still check. Okay, all right. Yeah. When was it? Never. What? Never. That's when it was. Oh, we good.
So, yeah. Let's go ahead.
This is a yak night, so I just, again, it's a yak night. that hopefully explain a lot of things. It's a yak night. But the husbands who are going back home, wives, you're welcome. You're welcome. Because they're coming home with me.
And shout out, by the way, LB anniversary in about an hour and 35 minutes.
Yes. We appreciate you for loaning him out to us. Yes. We're gonna get him home to you. Okay?
And don't worry.
He's coming home with anniversary gifts.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Do I need to go to the piano? No. Okay. But speaking of meat, right? Turkey bacon isn't real.
Turkey bacon is not real. Turkey bacon is not real, yo.
Wow. We're going there?
Hold on. Shameless plug real quick. Sunflower Centers, get your body care. Take a garden. Get your babies educated. All right?
Boom.
All right?
Boom.
Check them out, man. No, real talk, check them out. Drop your links.
So we can put them in the comments down below.
Check them out.
We'll be right back.
We ain't got no commercials. We not that advanced yet.
And we're back.
We not that advanced yet. We're working on this. Only episode 8.
Turkey bacon.
Where's Jamal?
This is people that
Where
in by turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon.
It's horseshit.
Turkey bacon is not real.
Where's my phone?
Let's
I ain't
listen.
called Jamal.
And you vegans, and I hope none of you are here, but also I hope you're here at the same time.
Listen.
I respect what you're doing.
Your decision.
Upward inflection.
But
Upward inflection.
But can we cut it out? Well, because that's not even a vegan thing. That would be, I don't know who you are. It's a non-meatitarian. But turkey bacon.
It's a meatophobe.
The meatophobe.
A beefophobe.
Porkophobe. Turkey bacon's not a thing. And I'm gonna die on this hill. All right. First of all, like y'all try to tout turkey bacon like it's healthier than pork bacon. First of all, it's not. It's not. I just want you to go read some of the labels on your packages and see the amount of sodium that they have placed into your turkey bacon. You know why they have to put that much sodium in your turkey bacon? Because it's disgusting. Okay?
Because it's not real.
It's not real.
It's not real.
It's disgusting. The only thing that turkey is good for is turkey necks and collard greens. Okay? Or maybe string beans. That's where turkey belongs.
I ain't putting no turkey bacon in no collard greens neither.
We're not doing that. It does not make sense. Stop playing with turkey bacon. All right, and I mean it in general, not just turkey bacon, but the Beyond Burgers and all of that.
These Impossible Burgers.
Impossible Burgers. Can we stop playing? Go read the package. The amount of sodium that they have to put on tofurkey to make it taste like something means you're gonna die of the salt and sugar like diabetes. I know those aren't things. So again, it's a yak night.
Turkey bacon actually has more sodium and more sugar than pork bacon.
Stop playing with us.
Okay? That's a fact.
Stop playing with us.
Google that bitch if you don't believe us.
I'm about to
cook. Matter of fact, hold up. I'm Googling it for you.
You're about to cook porky right now. Stop playing with us. All right, turkey bacon is a myth. Impossible burgers have too much salt and sugar. Like, we gotta do something. But these people gotta stop playing. You know, and I want Tristan to be here too, because vegan oxtails, like, that's not a thing. Like,
vegan oxtails.
Vegan oxtails.
Did you just swear?
A little bit. It's right up there with carrot bacon. Like, stop playing with us.
Carrot. Listen,
It's
vegan
right
bacon.
down there.
Okay,
Vegan
first
bacon-
you were talking about
Vegan bacon is not a
All
thing.
right, listen, you were talking about turkey bacon, but then when you said vegan oxtails,
Vegan oxtail
first of
is
all.
too far, yo.
okay,
They
You know what?
took cauliflower
you know what?
and cut it into like
Cauliflower.
oxtail shaped.
Cauliflower is not even real. Cauliflower is not even real. How about that? How about that? How about that? Cauliflower is not even real.
You crossed the line.
How that sound? Wow. We done lost the cast member. Look, we done lost the damn cast member almost.
That was my son's bike.
Oh.
This was a segment of the show, for the record, though. We feel a kind of way. Okay, his toys making noise now. Stop it. Okay,
Stop it.
Stop it
All of you.
right now.
What?
Stop it.
You kidding me?
Impossible
kidding?
Whoppers. Has anybody actually had that Impossible Whopper?
I wonder if they
Why?
actually
Why
have
would I?
actual.
I eat pork. Wow.
Matter of fact, if you're ever in Baltimore, you need to check out Jerk Taco. Come to Baltimore, check out Jerk Taco. Get you a real authentic.
Oh, and it's another flavor. What's that? Green Mountain.
Man.
What's the Jamaican style on Green Mountain?
Real deal?
That
Oh yeah,
Real deal
straight
Jamaican.
fire.
What?
And you know it's real because they never have anything. Like, you gotta wait and wait and wait. Like, you can
Man.
call in your order 30 minutes in advance and go there and be like, yeah, I'm here to pick up mine, and you still gotta wait another 20 minutes because the curry ain't finished currying or the jerk ain't finished jerking. And when you ask for extra curry gravy, they gonna catch an attitude with you. That's how you know it's
That's because
legitimate.
they went and
authentic,
captured,
you know.
the
Yeah,
ox.
they caught the
All of that.
They got the whole goat in the back.
In the back, you know.
All of that.
It's worth it. By the
It's
time
worth
you
it.
get it.
Every
Especially
single-
when you're sitting in there
every
and you
single
smell
time.
all of that jerk chicken.
And that good cocoa bread, man. Stop playing with it. But you vegans, y'all are doing the
Y'all are doing too much.
Y'all are tearing the black family apart. I got the answer. I got the answer.
That's it.
Why is the black family falling apart?
As soon as we
Vegans.
started becoming vegan,
Vegans.
it's you.
It's you.
It's you.
It's you.
More than the government in the 60s.
It's
Oh,
vegans.
man.
More than crack.
More than
in
crack.
our community.
More than Black Lives Matter.
more than syphilis during Tuskegee experience.
Vegan.
It's vegans.
man.
It's vegan.
It's you. You people.
Ah.
And what do I mean by you people? You people.
I'm pointing all the fingers at you. All of you. You're over here with your pretend food. The whole world know bacon ain't never damn came from no turkey.
It's a carrot strip. It's not carrot bacon.
There-
It's a carrot strip.
Vegan bacon is a carrot cooked in bacon grease.
I watched them take rice paper and
Oh man, I saw that
and
one.
coat it with like soy sauce or something
Something.
and like fry that
But then
in
they-
like
Yeah, they threw like
avocado
another-
oil and
It was
call that bacon.
And avocado oil, what you put like on your face.
Well, I mean, you can cook with it too. It's actually fantastic, but I still would like cook
I like it
regular
with
meats
avocado,
with
actually.
avocado oil.
For real.
But I'm saying, like,
I'm not
they-
into the avocado.
they took rice
Do
and
an avocado spread with that bread with the
Avocado.
Niggas that turn vegan on me just like that. Y'all see that? Y'all
No,
see that?
avocado is delicious. But I want
listen. Okay.
I want avocado next to my bacon. Like, I want
Exactly.
avocado in my burrito bowl that
That's
has
gonna be on
chicken
top,
or steak,
right? That's gonna be
like,
on
yeah,
the
it's not-
bread, and when I put
you know,
bread,
we're not segregating here. You know,
Fair
but yeah,
enough.
rice paper is not bacon. Stop playing with us. Carrot bacon is a carrot strip. It ain't bacon. Just don't call it that. Find a new name. If this is what y'all gonna do, find a new name.
Apparently, avocado oil is indeed bomb.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, y'all gonna stop with these lies, okay? Well, you
Oh,
two,
that had to be
You
Jesse.
too?
I knew it. I knew
you
it.
two,
I knew it.
all right? Y'all, you just made the list, okay? Both of you just made the list,
We want to,
okay?
you know, we want to love you. We want to love you.
We listen. We had plans for y'all, but y'all come with this blasphemy.
She said the Impossible Whopper is good. Have you read the nutrition label?
I feel like
just check
if
the
you,
nutrition label.
I feel like if you burnt grits and then put like random vegetables in it, that would be an impossible burger.
And just like use that food coloring to turn it black. That's an impossible.
What could it possibly be made out of?
Beans.
The only thing
kidney
impossible about it
beans.
You can't
it's
Black
impossible.
beans and kidney beans.
you can't call that a burger.
No,
You can't call it a burger.
it's a bean. It's a bean.
It's a
patty.
bean.
And it's not even a bean bean pie. It's a bean patty.
We're coming after all the vegans.
It's you people that are tearing our communities apart
Stop tearing our communities apart.
immediately
Okay. All right.
with your turkey bacon.
Stop it.
Now that we finished flaming the vegan community,
Oh man. Yeah.
because you have been torched. Now that we
You're
finished flaming,
You're bad for
That
America.
has been. They
Bad
are,
for the human
that is
condition.
on fire right now.
are we flaming? Are we flaming?
Flaming. So why is everything? Speaking of which, why is everything flaming?
How,
No. Okay, wait.
Here's where we get canceled.
Yeah. This
Wait.
part.
That's not what I mean.
This
That's
part.
not what I mean. That's not what I mean.
Is
But we have to stop making everything flaming.
Flaming.
Everything doesn't need to be fucking flaming.
Flaming.
That's not what I mean. What I mean is literally like, like flaming, like
Like that dumb flaming hot Mountain Dew soda.
like
That's
that
out.
damn
Oh
flaming
my
hot
gosh.
Mountain Dew.
What were y'all thinking?
They just what they figured out, what they thought was like they were like people like Takis. So how can we put a Taki into a drink?
How do you make it? Why would you think to do that? You wouldn't want a liquid taki. Would you want a liquid taki?
It sounds about white.
Well, I mean, you know.
What the
It sounds about
Oh
white.
my god! There's a flaming.
There's a flaming hot.
There's a flaming hot Mountain Dew, y'all. Now I like Mountain Dew.
I actually haven't come across this.
Mountain Dew's a sperm killer.
If you drink it in
Well,
large,
sign me up, cause
it's
That's all good. We done.
in large amounts. It is.
That's fine. That's fine. We gonna be shooting blanks, yo. It's all good.
Limited
Oh,
edition
ski.
Mountain Dew flaming hot soda.
First of all,
That doesn't even sound attractive. Flaming hot soda.
but then they got
it
that
does come
flavor.
June, I guess.
They got that flaming hot shit for like a few different things now. Like
There's a cereal.
yes, that's it. The cereal.
What?
There's a flaming hot cereal. Everything has got to be damn flaming. Pause.
Frosted.
Hey,
Flaming hot
comment if we
frosted
should
flakes.
do a trial of everything flaming hot for one episode.
That's too much flaming in an episode.
I'm not here for that
I
much
wouldn't
flame.
be here, but I want to know who want to see it.
I'm not here for that much flame. I'm not here for that much flame.
I'm not here for the fuego.
No. That's too much flame.
See, Jesse, I knew you did. Yep, see, yep, you checked the ingredients. See.
Thank you. She gets it.
Cancer on a bun.
Man, who is that?
Who that is right there?
That's
Oh,
your
that
baby
is.
daddy.
Hey, bro, you might, looking at that profile page, you might want to holler at me.
Yeah, I'm gonna holler at that
You
one
might
right
want to
there.
see what's up with it.
I'm like, holler at that one.
You know, man.
I think she likes you.
I think so, man. You know, she giving you that
She
rhythm.
get that vibe.
Oh, yeah, that rhythm, that vibe.
Man, hey, slide into my DMs.
Hey, say less, man.
Sure.
Y'all, you hear
I'm
that?
gonna slide
You hear
into your DM.
They got
What's
flaming,
up? Flaming hot Skittles?
flaming hot
that? Flaming
Cheerios.
Skittles.
Flaming hot Cheerios.
Okay, for pause. I'm sorry. First of all,
And we want to thank you all for coming out tonight.
There it is. Here's the one.
It's been realer than real.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. We're done.
That's the
Where's
one.
the
That's the
outro?
one.
Where's the outro?
There's the one.
That's the one. So no, really though, flaming hot Skittles. Is that
Flaming hot Skittles.
No
flaming
shit.
hot Cheerios. Flaming frosted flakes. So because we don't give 2 Fs, now we have 3. Flaming frosted flakes.
Flaming hot rice Krispies.
Flaming hot like Cheetos macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, that is.
Like if you tell me you want to stay on the toilet all night without telling me you want to stay on the toilet all night.
I have so many questions.
If you're eating flaming hot Cheetos. Macaroni and cheese.
That sounds like a long
night in the John.
And a big barrel of pepper.
God is not pleased.
But what if you have that?
God's not pleased.
The flaming mountain.
With that, with the flaming Mountain Dew?
There's literally gonna be fire shooting out of your butt.
Shit, I don't.
Literal fire out the
This
butt.
kind of stuff is anti-generational. It's
Yeah,
anti-human.
this is
What's
not-
killing the black community?
This is what's killing the black community.
right behind
This
the vegans.
is what's killing the black
It's
community.
the flaming
They're flaming everything.
everything and vegans.
All things vegan
All things.
and flaming are destroying the black community. That's how the family's under attack.
So that means we got to listen. We got to go up to it.
Y'all know what happened.
We're going up to it because y'all are taking us down. Vegans and flaming.
Vegans and flaming.
We're going down in a flaming vegan fire.
You know, you combine those two, they're the worst two possible things you can combine.
You all are the band playing as the ship goes down.
We didn't plan that.
It definitely said that shit was going down though. That was terrible.
It's awful.
That
What the fuck
was
are we saying?
terrible.
You know,
That was terrible.
You made it melodic, so we'll
That's
It
what
was
we do.
beautiful, terrible.
Yeah, man, it's good and terrible.
It was
You know,
a beautiful.
It's
terrible.
when you know your ass is about to die anyway.
as
you play anyway.
a flaming hot Ruffles commercial comes on.
But
TV.
those are actually
Wow,
pretty
I mean,
good.
no, listen.
Those are good.
I can get with chips.
As he stands up for at least one flaming.
Those are good though.
product.
I like Takis.
Because the flaming always goes too fucking far.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
okay.
The flaming always
All right.
goes too far.
All right.
I like Takis. I like Takis, you know. But like that one chip challenge, I'm not trying that. Like, why? Why do I want to die eating one chip?
Like
Like,
even the Cheetos that they made the Carolina Reaper peppers. I'm
like
not setting myself up.
nah,
for that.
I did like so. Arundel Mills has that sauce store, and I tried like they give you the coupon to Dippin' Dots, and they let you try one dot of that like hot sauce on a spoon, and like as soon as you put it in your mouth, like you just die immediately. Like I did that. But I was dead for like 2 days. Like from one dot. Yeah,
But
you
you
signed
signed a waiver
you
for it?
signed the waiver and everything. Like, why do you do that? I also tried the hottest wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, and like I ate the first 3, and I was like, this is nothing. And then all of a sudden, there was like running sweat on the back of my neck, like going down into like. It's ridiculous. Like, so, yeah, nah, just this. There's a such thing as too hot.
I got a funny story about Buffalo Wild Wings. That's another time.
Yeah.
You finna tell the story?
You said it's another time, but I felt
Oh,
like
another time?
I thought he was about to dive right into this.
I thought you were about to go.
Ooh, I'm about to
Yeah,
dive
I'm never gonna be
in.
that bold.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be that bold to do that ever again. With the Buffalo Wild Wings one night.
Did you teabag the
It
hot
was the
sauce?
all you can eat. No, this one was for like 50-cent wing.
Oh, okay.
And I decided to try the mango habanero wings. They were good. So I woke up like Hitch the next day.
Listen, it's good coming in,
That's
not so good coming out.
so good.
Hey, man.
Just say bottom lip was here. And I woke up like, what the hell is going on?
Any food that makes you sign a waiver before you eat it is probably too flaming.
Yeah.
It's probably too flaming.
Yeah.
What you what?
Too fat.
Yeah. Who's winning this game? God, Boston is.
Wow, just an update. Tell them the update, Bob. Tell them the
Go ahead, Ken. Talk
Y'all
to
gonna
him
make
for
me
us.
say, geez, Boston's
Oh,
currently
my
up
God,
17.
20.
No, 20.
20 now.
20,
yep.
About
20.
8 minutes left in the fourth. And
Yeah.
listen, if we lose this game, it's only gonna go 6. We're not.
Oh,
It just doesn't.
So wait, it went Heat, Celtics, Heat, right?
Yeah.
No,
No.
was it?
Heat, Celtics.
That's
Celtics.
what it was.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So they
it
went
goes-
up.
No. It went Heat, Celtics, Heat. Celtics.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm about to say,
that's
I
what I thought.
remember Miami
Yeah,
going
because
up
we
2-1.
hadn't lost the game at home until
Right.
game 2 of this series.
That's not. Come on.
And they're determined to give them every call
Yeah, I mean,
because that wasn't a foul.
So theatrical.
that was definitely not a foul. That was.
So what you're saying is if they win this, then they win in the next two.
Well, so Miami
They'll
would have
just
to
need one
win
more,
2 out of
yeah.
the next 3, right?
Yeah.
And they'll probably get 1. Well, next game is in Boston, right? Because we're in Miami right now.
That's why I say if we go back to Boston, it doesn't look good.
Boston is stomping on Miami right now, 80-60 in Miami. So hopefully Miami, because I picked the Heat in 7, so I need them to win the next game. Oh my God! Holy! Well, this game over.
All right.
This one over. This one over.
They win this, they go back to Boston.
They're going back to Boston, and Miami gonna have still one in Boston. Miami gonna still.
They got to.
This one's over.
Yeah.
This one's actually over.
My gosh.
Oh man, like this guy, this way behind the 3-point line, with a hand in his face.
Yeah.
So we have officially covered everything that we were supposed to cover.
Man.
So I feel like this is the point where we thank everybody.
Well, all right. So I got to bring this up. It just happened yesterday. Obviously, this is before we played anything. As we're doing our well wishes and so on, our thoughts, prayers, condolences, all of that go to all the victims of the Texas school shooting. It was an elementary school shooting. All the victims there. It's you get sick and tired of hearing about stuff like this. Yeah, sick and tired of being sick and tired. We share in that sentiment. We're sick of it too. We all have young children. And it's horrible to even consider sending your kids to school and getting a phone call like that. I don't even want to. I couldn't even imagine what that would feel like. And then on top of that, because we have a teacher on the panel too, the last thing I'd want to hear is him say, "Guys, my school got shot up," and one of my fellow teacher mates that I've told you guys about is he or she was shot. That's the last thing anybody wants to deal with, man. It's not good, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you slice it. So just, evil people exist out here in this world, man, and it's terrible. They arrested him. I hope they throw the book at him and a couple bullets and a couple, we hope they,
hang it, burn it.
Yeah,
There it is. Burn it again.
Tie and quarter this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and anybody else ever do that? Like anybody, look, do what you want. When you start coming at kids, that's where I draw the line. Yeah. I draw the line at the kids. It's not okay.
And it was particularly hard to be a teacher today. We did nothing all day. They got on and made an announcement, but kind of echoed the sentiments of Steve Kerr, like you're tired of moments of silence. You're tired of giving condolences because these kinds of things shouldn't be happening. And like a school like mine, we have a breezeway that connects our old building to our annex. And so, essentially students can enter anywhere at any time. And so we see, kids who used to go to school just pop in. We have gangs in the community. And so, you see gang members who have dropped out of school who just find their way onto the property and onto the campus. And so, like, teachers already didn't feel safe before the amount of school shootings that have taken place, and beyond the ones that you're seeing on the news, there are a ton of ones. Single gunshot violence in a school is still too much, let alone mass murder. And there have been a number of them this school year alone. And so, you saw, or you'll see, comments about, these things not happening in a virtual setting, in which they didn't. And I, as an educator, I said one of the things I didn't miss while we were virtual. Well, there were a couple things. One, you didn't have students talking back to you because, you had the power to mute them on Zoom or boot them out of your rooms if there were ever conflict, or they just wouldn't say anything at all. So that was one thing you didn't have to deal with. And the other things was school violence. So, if everybody's in their own homes, there are no school fights. You don't have to break anything up. You don't have to, hear about it, deal with it, see it, that kind of thing. But, It takes kids away from being able to socialize. It takes them away from, functioning outside of their home. And some of their homes are just not, you know, feasible living conditions for them because they live with abusive parents or drug addicted parents or alcohol addicted parents. They have to take care of their little brothers and sisters all the time. So there's, you want them in the building with you because at points, the only safe place that they can go is your classroom or your school building. But then you can't even feel safe there anymore because at any point, somebody's neighborhood altercation can spill into your school and you have innocent people losing their lives, or because, some people didn't know how to be friendly to a student. Now they've decided to shoot up the school. So there's just, there's so much that goes into it. It's very hard to be an educator. We've got 19 days of school left, and I literally just pray every day on the way to school that I can get back home to my son because, stuff like this just shows you that you'll never know.
I mean, bro was a psychopath, man. He shot his grandma. And let me just say, there is a very special place in hell for people that shoot grandma. That would commit violent acts against grandma. There's a special place in hell for y'all. Right around that same area, with people that do things to children. Pause for emphasis. That guy was a psychopath. Next week, I think, and Rich, if you can take this down so I don't forget, next week we can start talking about some solutions. We ain't got all the answers, but we invite more conversation. We invite you to let us know what you think. But next week we can talk about some solutions. I've heard a few different options. Arm the teachers is one option. We can talk about that. Having armed trained security at every school. I think that's probably a better idea. But that's an option right there. A few other options. We got to do something because this does seem to play on repeat. The record's just on repeat. If it ain't this summer, it's the summer before another election.
Yeah, man. So the one thing I'll say is I thought I saw some caption that said that that specific one that you're talking about, that they actually had to shoot him down, like he's no longer with us.
Yeah, it's a wrap for bro.
And that he was actually, so a couple of the reports I read, he was actually bullied for a very, very long time, and he was already suffering from certain like speech impediments and other things of that nature. So he was getting bullied, for a long time. And I'm not saying that is a pass for what happened, but at the same time, it's like, what are we doing? What are we teaching our kids when they're going in and just bullying, these other kids and whatnot? And I get, like,
I mean, I was bullied in school.
We grew up around,
We grew up on a dozens.
That's what I'm
around
saying.
jokes and other things.
Yes.
We had to learn how to give it back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
when it comes to somebody
being picked on,
when it comes to somebody that's already has a disorder, so to speak, right? Something that hasn't been attended to, right? We definitely, I think, in my opinion, we need to take a closer look at what are we doing to help those students along, and maybe they need to have more attention given to the situation, more help in that, and not just shove medicine down their throats, but really, like,
that's not really help.
It's not help, because you could be born with whatever it is that you develop, ADHD or whatever it is, that symptom that they want to give to you or label you as, right? But that's not who you have to be, and you don't have to get medicine shoved down your throat. I'll give you an example.
But if it will stop you from shooting up a fucking school,
well, yes,
then
if it will. Medicine. But at the same time, right? Example, on my wife's side of the family, right? Her aunt, right, said to the doctors, no, my son is going to be, this. She had a plan in mind, And so, you know, it wasn't just that you're going to shove medicine down his throat. No, he's going to live and he's going to learn, you know, to live out in this world. You know, he's not going to be a statistic and all of that. You're not going to cater to him. He's going to be able to operate, you know, in this world. And that he has done. And then some. I mean, he's got a degree. I don't even have a degree. I mean, man, right? So it's possible, but it's also, you know, that attention that was given to him, right? That is the same attention that needs to be given to these students. All students need to be, what are we doing? You know, are we just letting these kids go by the wayside and just say, they're just another number? It'd be okay.
You know, I feel you on that. I just want to say, like, you know, this kid was bullied in school is not a good enough excuse to go shoot up. He didn't even go shoot
Absolutely
up.
not.
He didn't even go shoot up
his own school.
Like if he went to go shoot up
Absolutely
his
not.
own school, I'd be like, okay, it might be like the Columbine type thing.
It
He went and shot up a random school.
Yeah,
Right.
in elementary.
That means he wasn't in the right mind.
He shot up kids,
He wasn't-
like babies.
Wasn't even in the right mind.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I agree.
he sure as hell wasn't in the right
Somebody
mind.
like that shouldn't even been able to purchase.
Which is,
firearm.
you know, and I think that's where we're like having the bulk of conversation, you know, because there's been a bill on the floor for 2 years about gun laws. We've been, you know, America's by and large a country where we have more gun violence than any other affluent country in the world. And I saw somebody's argument today that said something to the effect of, you know, well, y'all may not have the gun violence in other countries, but look at your rate of like senseless violence. So, you know, like stabbings or, you know, like just extreme violence to create murder. But like, I would still argue that it would take a lot more to get to that point. Like, you know, because I can shoot you from a distance, but like in order to stab you, I still got to get to you. You know, so I got a chance to run when you pull out a knife. I got a chance to run when you take out a bat or a pole. Like, I got a chance to get away from you. If you have an assault rifle, the odds of me getting away from that are slim to none.
The caliber of weapon.
Yeah, so you know, it's just it's like we have to do something. But it, you know, they said after Sandy Hook happened and it just came to pass, that was the point where we decided that gun violence was okay. Or, you know, because like we didn't change anything at that point. When elementary school kids got killed as a result of somebody coming in and firing off, we decided as a country at that moment that it was okay. And if you look at the number of politicians who are in office now, whose biggest or one of their biggest financial supporters is the NRA, it'll tell you exactly what you need to know about where we are as a country.
But so here's my question though, right? Because honestly, law-abiding citizens typically don't do stuff like that. Like stuff like what we just saw. Law-abiding citizens, law-abiding gun-holding citizens typically don't do that, right? So yes, this psychopath did that, and the psychopath in Sandy Hook and insert other psychopath here went and did that. But by and large, you know, law-abiding citizens don't do things like that. So I guess my question is, do we punish the law-abiding citizens and tell them they can't get guns because of assholes like this guy?
I just think it's the assault weapons. Like
ARs.
like what do we need them for? You know, like a handgun, cool, because again, you
Either
know,
that or let's raise the, you know, I mean, we gotta listen, we gotta take it to another level, right? You can't even rent a car without being 25 or older.
Well, not with good rates anyway.
Right.
Not with the good rates.
you know,
But
so
I'm
You
just
can't
saying,
rent a car under 25.
it's gonna cost you a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
But I'm just saying, like,
everything else should kind of function like that.
not only that, right? But you know, the you know, the mental capacity, like the background checks. You know, what are these background checks? What are they really covering? What are they looking for? And then you know, people leave clues to what they're about to do.
You were talking about that last week. Yeah. Yeah.
Clark
No,
Bryan,
go
Clark-
ahead, go ahead.
Clark Bryan, you're hilarious though. But I mean, but I agree.
This is real. That's real.
Stop raising thin-skinned kids.
See, if your kids wasn't such pansies, then we could pick on them without having to worry about our kids getting shot. That sounded better in my head, I'm sure.
No, but there's some validity to it. And it's a joke, but it's serious. We started falling apart as a country when Showtime at the Apollo gave every kid who like participated a trophy. Like
Participation trophies, man.
You know, because Showtime at the Apollo picked a kid winner based on applause. And some kid cried, and then they were like, we're going to stop choosing winners on the kids' part. But, like, your kids have to learn at an early age. You're going to lose.
Hey,
sometimes.
All your kids aren't winners.
You're not going to always get your way. You're not going to always win. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to learn that lesson early, because if you never teach them what it's like to lose, then when they become teenagers, when they become adults,
and
who have never lost, they can't handle They can't handle it. And so everything does become extreme at that point. Oh my God, what do you mean I can't have my way? Oh my God, what do you mean there isn't a trophy for 7th place? Like what, you know, like those are all things.
There was a trophy for the first 5 places. It shouldn't have been that. It should have been a trophy for first place. That's it.
Trophy for coming in the door.
Mm-hmm. That's it. You want a trophy? Finish first place.
Yeah, so you know, we got to teach those. I'm like 2 months away because my son wants to race every day when I pick him up.
And here's why I agree with it, because we have to have that standard, that competitiveness. We got to have that standard, right? Because if everybody's getting a trophy, where's the standard?
If everybody's the best, then the best is average. Everybody can't be the best.
Right.
Everybody can't be the best. If everybody's number one, then number one is average. Then nobody's number one.
Yeah, everybody.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing we say about good and evil. If good is only determined by human beings, by our standard, then good and evil are subjective. They have to be, because if they're determined by mankind, then it's subjective. It can't be absolute unless it comes from something higher than that. They're not ready for that. We're not ready for that yet. Y'all tune in next week. We're going to get into that.
Oh, yes.
Y'all tune in next week. We're going to get into that.
At that time. Hey, but listen, because this was our first live show, we got Up to It just to send y'all on y'all way.
Hey,
y'all stuck in there with us. We appreciate y'all. It is Boston 91, Miami 76. We all know who's going to win this because there's only 2 minutes left. Game. We're going to Up to It. Down to
How much time we got? It's 91-76. Boston has taken care of
now.
Miami.
This one is over.
It's over.
I'm going to drink the rest of these bottles because I'm depressed.
Kev is mad. Y'all pray for Kev. Y'all pray for Kev.
This ain't right.
Thank y'all for joining.
This is looking like it's going to be Boston and 6.
We don't know how long we're going to last, but
this ain't it.
Oh, man. Oh, this guy's still spinning and finishing. He's still spinning and finishing. They're up by 20.
It's about to be up by It's about to be up by what's that?
This guy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Kev.
By 17. There's some baby back bullshit.
We sorry, Kev. We sorry. Hey man, big shout out to Kev. Big one up in there.
Thanks, Kev, for allowing us into his humble abode.
Yes.
Pulling all the yaks out. It's been a yak night, so again, hopefully you got something good in your glass.
Tune in next week. Are we doing Wednesday still, right? Are we moving? Is next week? What's next week date?
Hold on. We get the week. Next week is
June 2nd.
No, Friday. We going to
Friday.
We going to Friday.
Yeah.
We going to Friday.
All right, so tune in.
We at least got one Friday.
Tune in next Friday on the 9th episode. Very good. Tune in next Friday. It's always somebody hating. It's always somebody. Tune in next Friday. What time we on now? We gonna do 9?
Same bad time.
Same bad time.
Same bad channel.
9th episode, 9 p.m.
We are in person again because it's the first Friday.
First Friday, we in person. Ooh, we doing this again? Y'all better be ready.
Hang in.
So let me say a toast before.
It might be a tequila night.
I hope y'all got y'all drinks ready because this is for y'all. Thank y'all for riding with us. Same place. We'll see you next week.
Hey, don't forget to hit that like, button and that subscribe button.
And subscribe,
And
baby.
yeah.
And it's just like church. Invite somebody. next
Invite
time,
somebody.
You know?
Tell a
your
friend to bring a
friends.
friend.
Tell them we out here, man. We having fun. Enjoy a drink with us. Enjoy y'all night. We out of here, man. Peace.